Hey everybody, it's Dave. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good for a Thursday. Uh, can't complain. Still feel like I'm in a bubble from the surgery, but it's getting better. Today's kind of a downer day, but I think it's more the weather, pressure, things like that. So I'm going to talk about two posts I saw today, and because I kind of have experience with both of them. And let's talk about the first one first. Can you be diagnosed with Meniere's disease without vertigo? The answer is yes. And see, unlike what other people do, where they just listen to somebody else and that's it. I actually research it, okay? Because I can't always call my doctor and say, "Hey, can you ask her questions?" I'm supposed to do an interview with her soon, but I guess I'll set that up maybe next week. Um, so, can you? And the answer is yes, you can. All right. Um, you know, and here's just an overview that I found. Is it is it is generally difficult to receive a formal diagnosis of definite Meniere's disease without vertigo. A true MD requires recurrent, spontaneous vertigo attacks along with hearing loss and tinnitus. However, patients can be diagnosed with cochlear Meniere's or atypical Meniere's. So when you're hearing the word atypical, that kind of means you have Meniere's, but you don't have vertigo at this moment. You're not getting vertigo attacks. If they're experiencing fluctuating hearing loss and ear pressure, fullness, without the vertigo. So that's what atypical means. I've heard atypical before. And I knew this answer, but I like to make sure what I'm talking about. So definite Meniere's criteria according to the Barnay Society and the NIDCD, whatever that is. Diagnosis usually requires 2 or more episodes of vertigo lasting 20 minutes to 12 hours. Let's change the 12 hours to 72 hours because sometimes I've had attacks for 3 days. Um, Paired with hearing loss and tinnitus. Cochlear Meniere's, which again, atypical Meniere's, refers to cases where patients only experience hearing, tinnitus symptoms, auditory symptoms without the rotational vertigo. Progression. Some patients with cochlear Meniere's may eventually develop vertigo, transforming the diagnosis from cochlear to definite Meniere's, though some may never experience vertigo at all. Okay. While true, vertigo is a staple definition. Um, Clinicians sometimes treat the collection of symptoms, fullness, hearing, tinnitus, and hearing loss, as a spectrum. And it's important to see your ENT. So, yes, it's very possible you can have cochlear Meniere's. And you may never get vertigo. Um, okay, because it's atypical cochlear Meniere's. It's not definite Meniere's. So, yes, it's possible. So that the people who are answering this woman saying, well, you got to have vertigo, you got to do this, you got to do that, and oh, watch out, vertigo's coming. It's going to anywhere around the corner, and a 3 month target, and all this stuff. Stop it. Because if you have clinical, um, I have to look again. If you have cochlear Meniere's, you may never get vertigo. You might, you could, but you could possibly never have vertigo. Huey Lewis is one of those people who all he was getting was tinnitus, ear fullness, and his hearing just lost. Um, Before when he got diagnosed with Meniere's, he got vertigo. Like I think he got vertigo later, but yeah, he got diagnosed as atypical Meniere's. So it happens. So don't be driving this poor lady crazy. I mean, I think she's new. I mean, like recently diagnosed. And the poor woman is, you're hammering somebody, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And people do that. The other thing too is I saw an interesting post where a woman was taking one of the what do you call it? I'm going to say Ozempic, but it's not Ozempic. Um, It was something else, but it's in that family of um, that medication. So I'll just say Ozempic for today. Um, and she said she was taking it because of anti-inflammatory properties, and she wanted to lose weight. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know about the anti-inflammatory part of it, because I take Ozempic, semaglutide. That's it, semaglutide. Um, I have diabetes too, and sure, I've lost weight. I mean, I was 265 when I first started taking it, and I'm down to, I think I weighed this morning and I was 229. Um, and I'm sure if I was a little bit more active, I'd probably be more. If you notice in my old videos, my face is like this. Um, so yeah, for the weight loss and diabetes is perfect. But as far as my as Meniere's, I can't say it's done much. But doesn't mean it's not going to work. Because I've heard people say it helps them, and that's great if it works for you. But then we come to the comment section. Okay, now I think it's great this woman's trying to lose weight, and she's looking for a solution to help her. That's awesome. And with the Ozempics and medications and Wegovy and all that, you got to kind of you really should be checking your blood sugars and things like that, because it can do some damage if you're taking it for long periods of time without having diabetes. Um, but it's great that she's trying something, and the doctors are helpful, you know. But then you get people saying, well, when you stop taking it, you blow up, you do this. Another person says, oh, no, I still got my weight off. And then the person who's adamant that this is what happens is telling the other, and it becomes in a big argument and insults and all this stuff. And you know what? Nobody needs it. Okay? Remember something. We're all different. Even when it comes to taking, you know, Ozempic or Wegovy or whatever else that's there. We're all different. Manjaro. I think that was what the Manjaro was when she was taken. Um, we're all different. So yeah, maybe you stopped taking it and decided you were going to go back to eating the way you were, and all the weight came back. And maybe this person stopped taking it, decided to stay on the diet that they were doing. Because even though you take these medications, it doesn't mean you can go eat what you want. Um, and she maintained the diet, maybe gained a pound or two back, and that's about it, but didn't gain back the 100 pounds that you lost. So we're all different. So stop slamming each other, okay, about that stuff. And there was one other thing. Somebody was talking about some tinnitus drops. I never heard of it. Luckily, a friend of mine who alerted me to it told me about it. What was going on? He said it's not FDA approved. There's no FDA study. This, that, and the other thing. And he made that guy said, okay, make that comment. So he made the comment, and then the other guy is going back and saying, well, there's nothing on beta histine, but plenty of people are taking it. Well, there actually is studies on beta histine. I'm not going to go through them now because I did a video about that a while ago. There are studies on beta histine. It's not FDA approved, and it was at one point in the 70s, and then they took it, the FDA banned it because they found that the reporting process was tainted. So they unapproved it, and the people who made it just never tried to reapply. So that's why it's not, you can get it in the United States. You can have it flown in from Canada, England, wherever, or you can go to a compound pharmacy. Um, but you can't get it, like you can in Canada. It has to be made. So there's research on it, and some people it helps. It helps a lot. Now I'm not saying this guy's drops aren't helping them. If they're helping you, great. But the thing with tinnitus is it comes from the brain. It doesn't come from your ear. A lot of people get this misconception that tinnitus comes from your ears. It doesn't. It's your brain, because it's not processing certain frequencies of certain sounds. So it comes back as or ring, like that. So it comes back like that. So it's not the ears, it's your brain. That's the whole thing about the epsilon, it's supposed to help with the air blood flow in your blood flow in your inner ear and your brain, so that and resurrect those hair silicas, so your brain can hear these sounds again. Okay. Um, so as far as sticking drops in your ears, unless the doctor tells you, like I have to put drops in this ear for like a month, so I don't get infection from the surgery, from the tampioplasty surgery. Word of advice is don't be sticking stuff in your ears. You don't be putting drops in your ears unless you have to. Um, so on that note, let's re-summarize. Yes, you can be diagnosed with Meniere's without vertigo. 2, everybody's different, no matter what you're doing, whether it's Meniere's, uh, the Wegovy, Manjaro, weight loss drugs for and inflammation. And 2, do your research. Like I said, these phones that we have today are so much. They're mini computers. You can do so much with them. I mean, I know people who don't even have a computer now. They use their phone or they use a tablet. And they do everything on the phone or the tablet. And it's very easy to research stuff. It's not difficult. You don't have to go to the library. You don't have to make an inquiry with the PubMed or anything like that. You just go right on your phone, you know, or your computer if you have one. I mean, I've got 3 right here in this room. I've got an old Dell here, Intel Generation 6 Intel processor. I've got a Mac Mini 4 M4 over here, and then I got a Mac laptop, MacBook Air, that I use if I'm going someplace. Like if I got to go, like my wife is having, I can't talk about it, but she's having surgery in a couple of weeks. So yeah, while I'm waiting in the waiting room, I'll have my laptop with me, instead of sitting there on my phone. So on that note, that's it, man. We got to stop being kind to each other and stop trying to prove that who's right, who's wrong. You're wrong. That's wrong. Where'd you get this? Enough. Enough. It's just getting. It's. We should be helping each other, not putting each other down. And on that note, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.